This week on Afternoon Express, we open up to the joy of a little self-indulgence as the world celebrates Chocolate Day. Catch up with 5FM DJ Kyle Cassim and his wife Nicole on married life and becoming proud parents to young son Cruz. If you're looking for artisanal chocolate, award-winning chocolatier Stefani Cenorio has you covered. Nestled in the heart of Bot River, you can find a guest farm that offers animal encounters with an assortment of wildlife rescues and movie stars. In action at the One Young World event, Miss SA 2020 Shudufhadzo shares what makes her tick over a delicious high tea experience. And Gerrard Ansara, owner and architect of today's location, shows us around his sleek and tech-savvy family home.
Hello Mzansi, and welcome to the show. Another Tuesday and another evening spent with us. Now, July 7th was World Chocolate Day, so today we are diving into all things chocolate, but also the very good feeling that comes with allowing a little self-indulgence.
We are celebrating self-indulgence and we're celebrating us. But first, let's get to know today's beautiful location, designed by the founder of Ansara Architects, Gerrard Ansara. Its sleek, minimalistic and modern lines make for a perfect living space for himself and his family.
Hey there.
Hi, Yanda.
How are you?
Nice to meet you. Good.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear more about this home.
Thanks. Come through.
Thank you. The exterior of your home is absolutely phenomenal. You've got black, you've got concrete and its raw elements. It's absolutely gorgeous. Please walk me behind the inspiration of creating it like this.
I wouldn't say it's a Japanese home, but definitely inspired. The idea of courtyards, the outside coming inside, the landscaping as well. We kept all the trees in the property.
I'm so glad you mentioned the trees. They are so striking. I mean, we're in the middle of winter, but they still look absolutely gorgeous. Was it intentional for you to build your home around the trees?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the house itself was designed within the trees, so it gives you the idea, especially with these cantilevers. The house floats into the landscape. You in nature, you mean where the bird life is phenomenal. As you say, it is winter. In summer, it's like a forest. You could be anywhere.
But you also have the people that you love around you. You have your father on the property, your in-laws on the property. Can you walk us behind the compound that you've created in this space?
Well, look, this house was conceived during COVID and it made me rethink about what a home is. And my father was living far from us during the lockdown. So the idea was to create a sustainable place, a workplace, a living space for the whole family to enjoy. And you know, if ever something like that had to happen again, we're really self-sustaining. We can operate on our own.
Gerrard, you wear many hats in making sure that this project was complete. Do you have 3 words that you can use to describe the interior of the home we're about to see?
Sure, minimalist,
Okay.
Japanese, and honest.
That just got me really excited. Let's see this honest, minimalistic, modern face of yours.
Great.
Wow, this space is absolutely beautiful. I see the concrete on the inside again. That looks like oak, and you have a bunch of timber accents as well. Please walk me through this amazing space.
The timber definitely warms up the space because there's a lot of concrete and a lot of glass, as you can see, which again goes back to the Japanese, the bamboo, the light fittings, the finishings.
I understand you came up with the furniture that you chose as well. Is that correct?
Look, yeah, we didn't have an interior designer. It was a collab between my wife, who's a fashion designer, and myself, and we disagreed on most things, so it wasn't an easy process. So effectively, I created the blank canvas that my family is slowly, we're just growing into and changing as we go.
And that's the best way to do it. I think to grow with your space makes it feel that much more personal, and you want to find out more about it.
Yeah, it's evolving.
Yes, and what kind of style were you rearing towards when creating the home? My mind is going to Bauhaus or Brutalist, but I also know that those things aren't the same.
Look, most architects hate the word style because we don't believe in style. We believe in creating something new and something fresh, but it definitely took from Japanese modernism, minimalism, and it's my own style at the end of the day, so there's no word.
No word for it, it is just Gerrard. And what about this artwork?
It's an interesting piece because it's not a painting or an artwork, it's actually an acoustic panel that helps with the sound because of all the concrete in the house. So we actually laser printed onto an acoustic panel. We found a painting that was Japanese inspired, but then put it through AI, and that is a completely original AI artwork. So it really was using technology to develop a style. I've always been into gadgets and technology from a kid, and everything in this house has been future-proofed. So using everything from light switches to the vacuum cleaner, geysers. Everything in this house is operated from my phone and my watch. It's very accessible to my 5-year-old, to my 86-year-old father. They're very open to the technology and it's very easy to use. This is no more an expensive, isolated technology.
Everything you're saying sounds amazing, but can you demonstrate how you have AI modeled into your home?
Sure. Hey Siri, kitchen lights off.
That is so cool. Okay, can you switch it on, please?
Hey Siri, kitchen lights on.
That is so cool. What a superpower to have in your home.
No, it's great. My daughter loves it and my wife. While she's cooking, she can control the house.
Amazing. The space feels so fluid. It feels like the outside is coming in.
100%. I mean, you can see these massive sliding doors that really bring the outside in, and especially in summer, the house flows to the outside areas. The house is pretty much off the grid, water and electricity, solar panels. Everything is also low energy, so everything I've spoken about technology-wise is using the latest technology that uses the least electricity. Interesting fact, Ayanda, when I traveled, I used to sketch buildings when I was a lot younger, and we blew up some of these sketches. So this is a little sketch on a serviette that size, and we've blown them up on canvases in the house just to create that personal touch.
This looks like it was made by an artist.
Thank you. Welcome to the main bedroom.
Oh, the space is absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you. I mean, you can see the use of raw materials again, the concrete behind us, oak, bamboo, leather, talking about the true materials, the honest materials.
Unbelievable. What an all-encompassing view. Is that another bedroom I'm spotting across there?
That's my daughter's bedroom, and as you can see, it floats into the trees, or cantilevers in architectural terms, and it gives you the effect of a tree house. I've also used a lot of corner glass windows. Sitting in that room, my daughter feels like she could be in the trees. So it's really an urban oasis in the middle of Sandton.
Oh, what a beautiful way to grow up. I'd really love to bring it back into this space. Now, obviously, we're in the main bedroom at the moment, but you have so much more happening in your living quarters.
Well, I've got the master bathroom over here, which uses the same material palette. So we've got bamboo, oak, and the raw cement walls. So I tried really hard not to use tiles wherever I could. And then we have, obviously, the dressing room at the back here, which is mostly my wife's domain.
I completely understand that. Gerrard, you've given me such a beautiful tour of your home. Oftentimes, architects have to deal with clients, and sometimes there's a clash of ideas. This time round, you were the client. What did that process look like for you?
So yes, I was the architect, the developer, the builder, the client, even though my wife may disagree on that point, which was interesting and challenging, but fun at the same time. They say some of the most challenging things in life are moving houses, building a house, and having children. So during a pandemic, we decided to do all three: build a house, move, and have a newborn baby.
I must ask though, what is your favorite feature or favorite part of your home?
I think there's no specific favorite, but more so it's the framework, or it's a canvas for my family to grow in. It has evolved as my family's evolved, and I think that's the beauty of this house.
I'm so glad you touched up on family. It seems to be an important thing to you because of how often it comes up. You've built for yourself here a generational home. For somebody at home that doesn't understand that term, what does it mean?
The generational thing is about family is very important, not only just to be together, but supporting each other, security. My dad's quite elderly, and I've designed his house, which is right next door, so we can look after him. He's there with us, which is very important today, that you have those support structures in place. So houses are not just a standalone home or a bubble, it's actually a community living. We have our own separate homes, but in our own personal estate. So he's right next door, and I mean, he has dinner with us every night, and then he goes back home and he has his privacy. So it works very well.
Gerrard and his company believe that every project is an opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. And in his comfortable home, that truly is testament to that sentiment.
Absolutely, and what a beautiful home it is. Next up, we meet 5FM DJ Cassim and his wife Nicole to share what the joy of married life and becoming proud parents has brought to them.
There is no better way to experience the delectable taste of chocolate than with your loved ones. And for 5FM DJ Cassim, there's no one he would rather share that with than with his wife Nicole and his young son Cruz.
What's happening, guys? It's Cassim here. Welcome to my house. Why don't you come inside? Being part of 5FM has always been my childhood dream. I speak about it in many of my interviews. When I was 13, my dad went to take me to meet the late Mark Pilgrim and Sasha Martinengo in the DJ box at a family-friendly festival. And at 13 years old, I said to them, I want to be on 5FM one day. 2016, the call was made. They brought me onto radio. And it still feels surreal that I'm part of my childhood dream. 9 years has passed and I still love the fact that I get to do what I love and live my childhood dream through everyone's radio every day, bringing the music that I believe in and putting a smile on people's faces. If I think of myself as a person, loud, entertaining, crazy, wild, I couldn't be anything else but a DJ or an entertainer, whether it's behind the microphone on radio or the mic on stage or behind CDJs, the decks, at a festival. That's just who I am. So being a DJ just kind of brings Cassim to life. I did go from crazy, wild party rock star Cassim to family man Cassim, but I love the new family man Cassim because I still get to be this DJ on stage performing around the world and come home to my family. And everything I do now is not for Kyle, it's for his family.
Kyle and I have been together for almost 5 years.
How is it nearly 5 years?
It's absolutely insane. We've gone from late night parties and conversations, a whole lot of inside jokes, to becoming parents as husband and wife, building a home and a family together. It's been just the absolute best experience for us. Our wedding day was a total dream. It still is so unbelievable that we had that experience, completely adorned by love and celebrating with our favorite people. It was such a magical day, a total dream. It was just the most magical, swoon-worthy time in our lives.
I think people still talk about our wedding. Literally, you bump into friends and family, they're like, your wedding was so crazy. And for me, without all the noise of everything around, her walking down the aisle still, like, there's a loop in my head. And the after party, we had a good reception. It was wild. It was beautiful. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
Their son, Cruz Cameron Cassim, was born in August last year, and this little blessing is already changing their lives in a big way.
When I found out that I was pregnant with Cruz, I was absolutely shocked. There is no other way to describe it. I was in total disbelief, and I knew immediately it was the most incredible blessing we could have ever asked for.
When we found out we were pregnant, I started crying with like happiest moment of my life. I first thought our wedding was going to be the happiest moment, and when Nix told me we were pregnant, I just burst out crying because I knew I was finally getting the family I always prayed for.
Cruz is just short of 11 months. Cannot believe how time has flown.
I cannot believe he's a month away from being a year old. It's wild. The half standing.
I can't believe it.
He's going to be driving me to my gigs soon.
Our dynamics have completely shifted from not being focused on ourselves first. We definitely put Cruz above all else. Our family unit comes first. Over anything in the world, there's nothing that can ever come between us or replace us.
This little boy here is the middle of our world. He's the center of everything. And yeah, everything we do now is just about Cruz. Whether it's work, outings, holidays, dinners, anything is like, it's about Cruz and our little family.
Eating healthy is important to them, and Kyle and Nicole share a passion for making good food.
Everyone's always talking about Cassim's Kitchen, which was my online cooking show prior to COVID. But now there's a new Cassim's Kitchen, which involves my beautiful wife, Nicole. We love food. And one of our favorite meals, or I think maybe more my favorite meal, is something that comes from the place we got engaged at. I surprised Nicole with our engagement in Portugal in Faro. You gotta say Faro. Faro. And I love Portuguese chicken. That spiciness, it's just so delicious. And she made her own version of this Faro Portuguese chicken. And this has just become like a staple meal in our home, once a week at least.
We keep the spices in here to keep it a secret. so Carl doesn't know what the actual ingredients are. And we have 2 bowls because Carl has flaming hot.
Like super, super hot.
And then a smaller bowl for me, which is just normal people spice. We're going to start with chopping up some leeks to just coat the chicken with our yogurt, lemon juice and garlic. After that we move on to the spice, which is our fresh chilies, and then finish off with our secret spice.
I think it's really important that we do lots of things together as a couple. Because I'm a touring artist and radio presenter, my time is really limited. And now that I have a family, any spare time I have is dedicated to Nicole and Cruz. So being in the kitchen, and even if I'm not available to cook and be at home, just having a meal together once a day, saying grace together, eating and catching up on those moments are really special to us. Are we putting these bird's eyes in here?
Do you want to die?
I want to burn me.
Well, a secret ingredient is actually ghost chili. It is crazy hot, but also really delicious. So I just have a tiny sprinkle. I have to be quite careful about not setting myself on fire.
So now, from what I'm seeing, she's got some garlic, lemon juice, and Greek yogurt.
And then we just mix this all up.
Mix up, get the flavors all infused with the yogurt, the spices, the chilies, the lemon juice, the garlic. Once that's all there, best part, pop it in the air fryer, get our salad ready, and then lunch is served.
Enjoying meals together in the Cassim household is a must. These small moments of connection are what strong, loving relationships are made of, and they are the foundation of the fitness drive that changed Kyle's lifestyle.
Crazy story. 2 weeks before my son was born, I was really overweight. I actually weighed 20 kilos more than what I weigh now. And I'd kind of let myself go after getting married and Nicole being pregnant. I just got very overweight. So I said, I'm gonna do a 75-day challenge, detox. I started on that, and then my son was born. After 75 days, I felt like a different person. I really did. And I looked at this child and I said, you need a healthy father, you need a fit father, you need a present father. And that's when I decided, for now, I don't think I'll ever drink again. I'm definitely never smoking again, because it was impacting my health. I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, and I want to look good. And yeah, I don't know if I'll ever drink and smoke again. As I've gotten older, as my commitments have changed, I've got a family, I'm focusing more on my health, which means training every day, running, boxing, skipping, eating healthy. And I find by training every day and keeping fit and healthy, it's aligned me so much with my family, my career. I'm able to do more. I'm able to tour more, wake up earlier, be fitter, be more lively on stage, be more lively behind the microphone, and have way more energy than I used to have. Even on like 4 hours of sleep, I'm up, I'm energized, I'm ready to do my day. Wake up, morning run, sauna, box, fly, gig, radio, kid, bath, bedtime. I'm hyper, I'm energized, and it's been good for me. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was really cool having you take a deeper dive into the life of Kyle Cassim, DJ, husband, and dad.
Watching those two work together in a kitchen really makes you see how much love is in that household. It truly makes you believe in soulmates, doesn't it, Bali?
Absolutely, and you know, I do believe in soulmates, and I'm a lover girl by nature. Coming up, we check out how chocolatier Cenorio is able to turn the craft of chocolate making into an art.
Making chocolates is not as easy as it might seem, especially when you're aiming for high-quality artisanal products, which is why we were absolutely blown away when we met executive chocolatier Cenorio, who learned it all on her own.
Absolutely. Now, she's won silver twice at the International Chocolate Awards, where she put South Africa firmly on the map.
This is the story of a working mom who studied computer programming, then decided to teach herself to make chocolates and do what makes her happy.
Hi there, I'm Stefani and I'm the executive chocolatier here at Jackrabbit Chocolate Studio. Welcome to our lab. We're artisanal chocolatiers, creating chocolate art from high quality ingredients. We try to make unique pieces of art that are edible and beautiful. Everything that we do from bars to bonbons and our chocolate-coated products, is always a new chocolate experience. I love everything about chocolate. I love the way that it smells, the way that it tastes, the way that it makes you feel when you eat it, when you receive it, when you give it as a gift, when you work with it, how it's so technically challenging. It's like a teenager, that it has a mind of its own, and that you think that you know everything about chocolate, but you don't. There's just lots of influences that can change the way that you are going to have to work with the chocolate on that day. If it's too humid, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, if the air is too dry, if you warmed it up too quickly, if you warmed it up too slowly, if you worked with it too slowly. It has so much to give as a compound that I feel like I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly getting challenged.
When people began to research Stefani's brand and arrive at her house asking for chocolate, it was time for a shop. In a few short years, these handmade masterpieces in their edible paintwork have won gold in Budapest and silver and bronze at the International Chocolate Awards in London.
I think in patisserie and chocolate work specifically, it's very easy to try and copy international pastry chefs in their style and their flavors. I think in South Africa, everyone has the idea that using French chocolate or using French ingredients and doing things that French chefs are doing or international chefs are doing is the best thing to do. And I think that in that we lose our identity. And so we try and use some of the South African flavors or South Africanize some of our chocolates so that it is still local, it's still us. We can use imported ingredients and we can use influence from overseas, that we still maintain our South Africanness in that. So we have done some really wonderful chocolate bars using msombo, so that's the African nightshade. We enjoy using rooibos in our chocolate production, and of course we have our milk tart chocolate. So when we are making our bonbons, they are all each hand-painted and handmade. Each chocolate has between 4 to 8 different colors on each of them, and each step of the process is done by us here by hand. And each one is like a little blank canvas, and we have the opportunity to hand paint each one, and although they share the same theme, each one is completely unique.
For this distinctive paint technique, they use cocoa butter mixed with edible colorants.
So while Lucia's busy applying her first layer of color onto her molds, we're going to do a similar thing into our bonbon molds. So we're going to start with splatting our molds, and this is the first step that we do. A lot of people think that it's actually our last step and that we paint afterwards, but we actually paint first. And so we've got our first layer of color that we're going to be doing. We've got our cocoa butter that's ready to go, and we're just using a paintbrush, and all we're going to be doing is splatting some color into the mold. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do quite a free, natural swish inside the mold with our color, and we can just turn it around and then we can see the effect so far. So once you've finished painting all of your chocolate molds and you're ready to proceed, the next step is tempering, which is what Christy's starting to do over here. So her temperature of the chocolate that's in the bowl is at T1, which is our highest temperature. So we use this motion where we spread it out onto the table and we bring it back together so that we can cool it rapidly all at the same time, so that we don't have some patches that are over-tempered and some that are under-tempered, because we don't want uneven crystallization of the chocolates.
Chocolate has a lot of ups and downs as well. It's not the perfect thing that everybody just imagines working with chocolate. It is very physical. It is a lot of working, it's a lot of standing, it's a lot of moving around. So it basically is CrossFit in a kitchen.
I love that challenge of working with something that's so dynamic and delicious. And regardless of how beautiful or how ugly it looks, in the end of the day, it's still an incredible product to eat and to enjoy. And I think that's what I really love about chocolate.
As bold in spirit as her chocolates are in flavor, Stephanie is currently exporting to Japan, and if all goes to plan, they'll soon be listed in Harrods.
Now next up, we journey to the town of Bot River to visit the Cornell Scorp Guest Farm and Animal Sanctuary.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
I chose to serve this community because this is where I interact, live and work with. So most of these people is relationships that I want to build. So I chose to work in this community to build those relationships and care for these patients. The community that I serve is very important to me because I see growth in this community and I want to participate in that growth. So basically how I participate as a pharmacist is caring for those needs or healthcare needs of those patients. So I want to actually establish that or establish myself in caring for or attending to those needs of my patients. So I'm in the forefront of healthcare. So as a pharmacist, I want to be in the forefront and also provide also that initial point of care for my patients. Being brave means being courageous. It means being resilient, being bold. So basically the brave concept, it does bring awareness to me as a pharmacist as well, and also my staff. How can we be brave? How can we be bold? How can we be resilient in tackling the healthcare needs of the patients that are walking through? So basically, we don't need to shy away. We need to welcome the patients and basically meet them at their points of needs and say, how can we all do this together?
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
For those looking for adventure, join us on a trip to the wild side at Cornell Scorp. What began as an animal training facility under trainer Luke Cornell has now transformed into an unforgettable experience for those looking for a tranquil farm stay and close-up encounters with rescued wildlife.
17 years ago, renowned animal trainer Luke Cornell created the Cornell Scorp Animal Sanctuary, a natural habitat for African wildlife and a guest farm offering visitors the experience of a lifetime.
The farm is called Cornell Scorp, which is a play on words. My grandfather was a prospector in the Rexersveld, so there's a Cornell Scorp there. We're situated 90 kilometers from Cape Town. We're in the Vanderstel Pass, 5 kilometers from Botch River. I've been an animal trainer for 35 years. As I've worked, I've accumulated animals, and my small holding in Hout Bay outgrew the species, and my neighbours, I think, were getting a bit upset, and we moved here 16 years ago.
The well-being of the animals at the sanctuary is Luke's top priority, and he works closely with Cape Nature and the state vets to ensure they are happy and healthy.
I own lions, cheetahs, caracal, hyena, wild dogs, zebras, ostriches, giraffe, baboons, meerkats, raccoons, predominantly for film, commercials and fashion, and we also do educational tours. We do quite a lot of outreach stuff with the community, teaching kids about animals.
Cornell Scorp is also home to some of the animal kingdom's biggest stars, including full-blown movie star Columbia the zebra.
Columbia, he was a baby on racing stripes, and he's probably the most photographed and interactive zebra in Africa. Mojo, one of my lions, was the hero on the Idris Elba movie Beast. We've just done ostriches for a car commercial. Our job is the next phone call, you know.
At Luke's side is Caroline de Villiers, the owner and visionary behind Temba Trees, a wholesale mature tree farm, which is also where they first met.
One day Luke came to buy trees and nobody was there, so he left, and then he came back again, met me, and then he started dropping off puppies. The puppies were wolves, so then he had to come and drop off fresh meat on a regular basis. So that was it.
Caroline didn't say much about her achievements, but she's South African Woman Farmer of the Year twice, and I've always wanted a woman who's on the front page of the Farmers Weekly. So it was a good catch.
There you go.
Cornell Scorp has no shortage of accommodation for travellers to choose from. They have a quaint single and a cozy 2-bedroom cottage, but the real star is the 5-bedroom original farmhouse.
So this house is the original homestead of the farm, and it's got clay walls that are extremely thick for insulation. It's got original roof beams. There's a fireplace in the kitchen. It's an old building. It's about 100 years old. So this is the Homestead Lounge. It's an eclectic mix of industrial farmhouse. I was going for a step back in time feel. You step in here and you feel like you've travelled somewhere, you've been transported somewhere. this house was kind of the perfect spot for me to exhibit things that I've collected on my travels and just growing up, and things that I found in storerooms from my great-grandparents and my grandparents. So I've managed to find a space in which we can display these beautiful heirlooms and artifacts that I've collected over the years. So these are Luke's great-great-grandparents. The mom looked like a bit of a stern lady. Seems to have passed down the line into Luke. No, I'm joking. This was a thrift store find, but I just love them. These beautiful old frames and just the story they tell.
Luke and Caroline's love of historical photos is on clear display, giving the homestead a nostalgic yet timeless feel.
I used to live in Mozambique and I love the baskets that they weave there. So these ones I bought off a lady in a market. I never really had a space for them, and now I found somewhere to put them with the aloes. And these chairs are a collection of mine and Luke's. Some bought from thrift stores, others that was my grandfather's old chair. I can remember growing up sitting on that chair around that table. So this is our kitchen. It's a real farmhouse kitchen with a modern feel. It has its original fireplace, which we use throughout winter. And in summer, the thick walls keep it beautifully cool, so we spend a lot of time here in summer as well.
When styling such a beautiful and authentic space, consideration and planning are key. That's why they left it in the hands of an expert who is close to their hearts.
I was fortunate enough to have a very dear friend and designer, Dee Malkinson, help me with the design of the house. She has a motto: if everything is perfectly imperfect, it is well with my soul. And in that way, we shared a vision for this homestead and managed to create this beautiful space. So the manor house has 3 bedrooms. Each room has its own personality, and this room is the forest room. We've incorporated metal to bring in the industrial element to the room, so we've used rusty window panes and old buckets. We've also brought in a lot of natural foliage from the farm, the use of the monkey ropes and the slungbuss ball hanging above the bed. Those are all sourced locally on the farm. My mom is an artist, so she has stores full of art. I've raided her storeroom and got art pieces, particularly from a friend of hers who used to travel, and everywhere she traveled, she captured what she saw. So a lot of the art's not even framed, it's just sketches, but everything tells a story. She would also write on it. She described the feel and what she saw. So she's inspired me a lot, and it's very special to me to be able to exhibit her work.
The accommodation is welcoming, but the real attraction is getting up close and personal with the wildlife.
This isn't really feeding, it's a titbit. They've got grazing here everywhere, they've got forage. We come here daily to check up that everybody's okay, the fences are all right, they've got fresh water 7 days a week. Rhinoceros is a protected species. We've got quite a lot of it on the farm. We're quite committed to ensuring that none of the remaining rhinoceros on our farm gets damaged. Luckily for us, the zebras and the giraffe don't eat it, so in that way it doesn't get damaged. For the immediate future, you can see we're busy planting hundreds of trees. We're trying to create a natural forest here. Also intend to build our house over the hill at the back of the farm, where there's no cell phone signal and off the grid. And I suppose to pay the farm off and retire here one day.
What can you expect when you book a stay at Cornell Scorp? Comfortable, rustic accommodation, a chance to reconnect with nature and to meet the 4-legged stars Luke has devoted his life to caring for. What's not to love?
A perfect place to enjoy a cup of hot chocolate this winter. Next, Karishma Bastay shows us how to create a cozy, practical and effortlessly stylish coffee and tea station for family and guests to enjoy.
There's something really special about beginning or ending your day with the perfect cup of tea or coffee. It's a moment to sit, sip, relax and take in the beautiful nature all around me. Today I'm going to be creating a stylish and totally functional tea and coffee station for my family and my guests to enjoy. Let me show you what I found. Pep Home has everything you need to create the perfect tea and coffee station. From kettles to mugs, plungers and canisters, you name it, they have it. This palette was very much inspired by nature. The deep, rich greens with the pop of color from the oranges, and we're going to be adding in some terracotta and neutrals to just bring everything together. I love that I can use my existing classic pieces and add in the gems that I found at Pep Home to continue to elevate the look. Look at this beautiful vase that I found. I love the shape, I love the color, and the quality is excellent. I cannot think of anything better than having access to fresh herbs right here in my kitchen. I found these gorgeous planters at Pep Home. I absolutely love the color and the texture of these, and they are going to look exquisite on my windowsill. I have been searching forever to find the perfect clock to match my kitchen aesthetic, and I finally found her. For just $149.99. She is absolutely gorgeous. She's going to look so beautiful up here. I love the ombre effect of this fruit bowl. It is absolutely perfect and adds a gorgeous pop of color to the kitchen.
You can never go wrong with displaying a beautiful bouquet in your home, and textured vases like these are sure to steal the show.
Bringing flowers into my kitchen, for me, it's like I'm calling in and inviting in the warmth and the energy of the sun into my home. Flowers are the easiest way to add a pop of color and freshness to any space. Now that I have everything looking beautiful, we can get started on the actual tea and coffee station.
What tea or coffee nook would be complete without some delicious snacks? And Pep Home has you covered with all the crockery you could ask for.
I adore this pop of yellow, and all these different textures makes the space look so interesting. Today's experience was really special because my whole family are big tea and coffee lovers. So putting this station together just made me feel like I was doing something so special for my family. I love that everything is easily accessible, even for my daughter. And I know we're going to have really special moments here together. The kettle is on. Remember my empty canister from last week? Let's bake some cookies. This is a quick and easy cookie recipe that my daughter and I love baking together. And I love that it is gluten, dairy, and refined sugar-free. You'll need some bicarb, some honey, an egg, coconut flour, all-purpose gluten-free flour, salt, coconut oil, cinnamon, vanilla essence, baking powder, and some nut butter. This is my beautiful dough, and it literally took me 5 minutes. So now I'm going to take out little balls, and you can make them however big or small you want. Now the cookies are ready to go into the oven, and while they're baking, I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. And there you have it. A stylish and functional tea and coffee station for my friends and family to enjoy. Pep Home made it really easy for me to balance style and functionality. They have incredible pieces that are functional but still look so beautiful. I mean, perfect example. Stylish, beautiful, practical. I think the plunger is another example of that. You know, the little accent of wood just elevates the whole thing. You at home stand a chance to win a 1,000 Rand Pep Home voucher. Tell us which Pep Home item will take your tea or coffee routine to the next level. Head over to our socials and drop your answer with the hashtag #PepHomeExpress.
I absolutely love how Karishma layered different textures and tones to make it so inviting. With Pep Home's stylish homeware range, your own dreamy coffee and tea station is just a few pieces away.
Next up, we attend the One Young World event in Cape Town with Miss SA 2020 Shudufhadzo before heading with her to a high tea experience.
Cozy up and chill time. Life's better with Pep Home.
Afternoon Express has been invited to the One Young World event here at the beautiful Sky Hotel in Cape Town, where we will first be catching up with author, philanthropist, and former Miss South Africa, Shudufhadzo. Let's go catch up with her. Shudu, tell me all about life in the United States. How has living abroad treated you?
It's been everything that I didn't expect. Since I was 8, I've always wanted to live in New York, and now I do. I'm doing my master's there, and it's a culture shock. When you are in the US, New York specifically, it's honestly the concrete jungle. You always have to think of different ways to be a better version of yourself, and you can't be anything less than 100%, if that makes sense.
Shudu has just finished the first year of her master's degree in international affairs.
What led you down that path?
I have a deep passion for learning. Over the past 5 years, I've been so lucky to be in front of the spotlight, obviously in South Africa, following my passion. People know me for my mental health advocacy, but it got to a point where I just felt like I was stagnant. I was doing really well, but at the same time, I felt like my mind just needed more. I needed to learn more, and I was speaking to one of my mentors, and we spoke about the importance of education and the importance of me learning about the world beyond what I think I know of it. And I ended up applying for this degree, going into my second year, so it's focused on economics and policy making, but also leadership, innovation, and design. So I'm learning things like systems thinking when you design solutions, and I'm working with people who are engineers, working with people who are design experts, working with people who are finance experts, and you're sitting there and you realize that I'm so lucky to not know everything. And that's the reason I did it.
What about foreign affairs and politics keep you stimulated?
I think it's the understanding that politics specifically rules everything around us. In South Africa specifically, our country is highly political. So whatever happens politically ends up affecting our economics. But I feel like where implementation is concerned is where I personally felt like I fell short. And those are the skills that I'm currently learning right now.
The One Young World event in Cape Town was held to announce the annual summit taking place in South Africa next year and had some big names in attendance, including Professor Thuli Madonsela, Vimbai Masiyiwa, Francois Pienaar, Tendai Tawarira, Patricia de Lille, and many more.
A lot of us want to make a change, but we don't know where to start. And we do it in silos, but when we do it together, it's a much more powerful platform. But what I love about One Young World is that it's not just about hearing the stories. It's like, how can we help you? How can we introduce you to the right people who will make sure that this change is not only in your community? How can we give you mentorship, but also create ecosystems where we get to be inspired by each other and where we're not unrealistic about what you're trying to do. It's like, tell us what you're struggling with. Yes, we see you as this person who's got it all figured out, but the truth is some people just need a community where we can make a change together, and One Young World is that.
This is just one of Shudu's passions and commitments. She is determined to use the platform that was created for her by winning Miss South Africa to make a difference.
You are a champion for women and girls all around the world through your work that you do with the United Nations. More specifically, the work that you do through the UNFPA. Can you please tell me a bit more about that sector of the UN?
The UNFPA, I think, is, I call it the binding agency of all the other UN agencies. So it's the Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency of the UN. They deal with maternal health, they deal with FGM, they deal with the rights of young women and girls and asserting their bodily autonomy. I call it the work of asserting the human rights of women and girls around the world. Right now in conflict-stricken areas, they've sent midwives. I've worked on female genital mutilation campaigns with them, things that I think across the world we can be sheltered from, but it's a reality and they're addressing those realities. So it's things like that the UNFPA deals with, but the work is paramount to the rights of women and girls around the world.
Despite the demands of your schedule as a postgrad student, you had the opportunity to moderate an event at the UN at their headquarters in New York City. Tell me a bit more about that event.
So we were calling for the end of sexual violence and gender-based violence in humanitarian, in humanitarian crisis areas. So there are a lot of conflicts happening around the world right now, and more than ever, we need to drive investment into the work that agencies like the UNFPA are doing. So we were calling for more investment to ensure that midwives can actually do the work that they're doing. So it was quite important to be at the UNHQ, speaking to partners like Norway that have actually invested into this work, but also just letting the world know that this is needed right now. We have no time to wait. We have no time to wait to see what will happen. We need to protect the rights of women and girls around the world now more than ever.
Let's take a jump from diplomacy to politics. Do you think we could see a future Madam Speaker?
I don't know if Madam Speaker is my speed, but maybe Madam President?
I like that. I like that a lot.
Putting it out there. Actually, do you like high teas and chocolate tarts?
Who doesn't love a bit of chocolate?
Okay. I want to show you heirloom, and let's taste what the Cape Grace has to offer.
Oh, I love it. Let's go. Let's grab our drinks.
When you're hard at work changing lives and looking good doing it like Shudufhadzo, it's important to take time out of your busy schedule to indulge in the sweeter things in life.
Shudu, do you love chocolate?
Yeah, to be very honest, I don't have a sweet tooth. But when I do, I really like some white chocolate with a little bit of caramel.
Oh, that does sound delicious. Shudu, during COVID-19, you and your team started the Mindful Monday series. What is that all about?
During that time, the prevalence of depression and anxiety rose by almost 20% in some countries. So we started the Mindful Movement with Mindful Mondays, where we partnered with the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, SADC, to educate people on mental health. So we had psychologists, psychiatrists, and different mental health professionals, and just the ordinary individuals share their stories to make people know that they're not alone. And we educated a lot of people. We had over 1 million viewers over 8 months, and to this day, people still walk up to me and tell me how Mindful Mondays changed everything for them.
With Women's Month approaching, I have to ask, do you have a message for women and young girls for 2025?
You know, I always say the same thing every single Women's Month, that you're enough. I feel like a lot of the times you're not reminded that we are enough. Like for me, sometimes just saying you're doing your best and you're enough. So that's my message to all women out there. You are enough.
Catching up with friends over high tea with some chocolate cake. Now that is a real treat. Please count me in next time. And thank you at home for joining us this evening.
We look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday evening at 6, with repeats on Sunday mornings at 8:30, only on S3.
Another feel-good production.